And so we are live. How are you, everyone? It's a beautiful Friday. I hope you are excited as I am. And so, before we begin this session, I want to tell you something. I'm so excited to see how much uh, you are doing this hackathon. Uh, okay, uh, just a minute. Okay, sorry for that. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen because today we have a number of things that I want you to be very excited because I'm sure ready to help you go through this. And in case if you have a problem or you've encountered a problem while creating the agents, please feel free to reach to us. So, vamos, let's begin. So let me share my screen and you can confirm to me if you're able to see my screen, and I hope I can be heard well. Sorry for my background. So share screen. I'm sharing that, sharing live, and I want that in full screen. Yes, and we are on. Welcome to today's session. I love your progress so far, and I'm also excited to take you through this because, yeah, it's my passion. And today, I'm so passionate about the things that we are going to build. We are going to go through how to create an agent for the Green Innovation Hackathon. So, yeah, it's the Agent Academy for the Youth, and my name is Edgo Cheng, MVP in Copilot Studio and Azure AI Foundry. So this will be the complete session where we'll go through this in labs. So we have from lab one, where we'll be talking about how you can be able to create your face agent in Copilot Studio. Then going about often. So we'll move from creating a simple agent to an advanced agent, from a simple agent to an autonomous agent. So it will be a hands-on session, and I'm sure you'll be excited because I was bumped even going through all these labs. So they're amazing. So for today's call, I don't think if we'll be able to go through all the labs. I'll sure touch on lab one and two. Then I'll provide the whole a zip file where you can get the learning materials, where you can get the lab contents, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and at the end of this call, you'll be so much better than you started. And yeah, it's an introduction to Copilot Studio, and this is a topic that I love talking about because I'm so passionate about Copilot Studio. I love how you can easily create an agent using Copilot Studio. And in the previous session, I walked you through how to create an agent from zero to an overview of Copilot Studio. Now, this is it's an add-on to that because we are coming from creating an account, getting your hands in Copilot Studio, and building your first agent. So going to the next slide. Now, there are three things I want us to talk about when we talk about Copilot Studio. So three ways you can build an agent. So the first one is, okay, before I explain to you how you can build an agent, let me explain to you the simple terms that we have. So we have Microsoft 365 Copilot. So the M365 Copilot is the UI for AI. So it's a way that you can create a personal, like it's a personal AI, intelligent assistant that can help you for your work. It can help you ground your data, and it can help you connect with your apps. I know you've interacted with all these platforms. So let's say Teams. In M365, you can be able to connect to a Copilot in Teams. You can be able to connect to a Copilot in Word. Let's say you want to create a research that you don't want actually uh, to start from zero. So you can go to your Word, give it a prompt, and it will be able to provide the whole research for you. Or maybe in Excel, you want to create some formulas. You can use Copilot to help you create that. Maybe it's the Copilot for GitHub where you can use Copilot to help you when you're coding. So that's the M365 Copilot. It's the Copilot that is available in each and every app that you can be able to access. So that's one. Then the next one is the Microsoft Copilot Studio. So for Microsoft Copilot Studio, this is the low-code tool which I showed you. So it's a low-code tool which you can be able to create agents and connect even to M365 Copilots. And lastly is the agent. So I explained to you what an agent is. It's like an AI worker. So you can use AI to automate and execute business procedures like making an AI work alongside you. So it can work on behalf of you, a team, or the entire organization. So those are the three, and there are three ways you can build agents. So the first way you can build agents is a totally low-code environment where you can access an M365 Copilot, and in natural language, you can create a simple agent. Then in Copilot Studio, it's a low-code environment. So the first M365, it's totally it's no code. Yeah, it's no code because you can be able to create an agent using natural language and you'll be done. Then when we go to Microsoft Copilot Studio, it's a low code, means you will use a little bit of code, and in some instances you can use natural language. Then there's Azure AI Foundry, which is a totally pro-code environment. And for the Azure AI Foundry, we have Malvin with you, who will interact in week 3 of the hackathon. So you are all covered. Now, let's get into details. So for the next slide, we are going to talk about the spectrum of agents. So you can be able to create an agent from a simple agent to an advanced agent. So a simple agent is like a retrieval agent. So what is a retrieval agent? A retrieval agent is an agent that can go to your data source. Like let's say I have a library of documents. So most of the time, students, we have a lot of notes, and maybe we have an coming exam which we don't know or the notes that you're supposed to use from. So uh, when I ask my agent a question, it can know these notes are coming from this lecture, and it will be able to provide you with that information. So it will save me time having to go to all my notes work, having to go to all my documents to get that piece of information. So that's a retrieval. It's a basic agent. So it helps you to retrieve data from your grounding. So it can help you to reason, summarize, and answer basically your questions. And that's the simplest agent we can build because it's creating an agent, giving it instructions, grounding it with the information we want it to share, and voila, we are done. Now, the next one is an advance. So we are done from retrieval. Now we are getting to the next step. And the next step is the task. And task agents help us automate the repetitive processes. So let's say in my environment, I have a lot of tasks. Let's say I have emails. When I come in the office early in the morning, the first thing I need to check is the email. And maybe in my email, someone wants me to create a meeting out of it. Someone wants me to reply. And there's some other days I get a lot of emails which needs my attention. So what if I had an agent which could go read my emails, reply to the emails, set up a meeting? It isn't up my work. So a task agent actually helps to save my time because when it saves my time, I can be able to do more complex tasks. It can be able to free my time so that I can build more apps and do more revealing work. So a task agent, it helps to take action. So when you ask it, it can be able to automate some workflows, and it can replace repetitive tasks that we majorly have. So after that, now we go to an advanced agent. So that's an autonomous agent. So an autonomous agent is an agent that works without the need of a human. So yes, we can have a human in the loop, but it works fully independently. Like imagine I have a project, so I need to create a web app for one of my clients. So my agent, first of all, it will go and take the requirements. See, these are the requirements I'm supposed to take for this work. From that requirements, it creates a plan. From that plan, it goes ahead to do a whole research, a whole development process. After that, it goes and create the project. You see, that was totally autonomous. Or let's say the example I gave, I have a lot of emails, and in these emails, I want to create meetings. Having to go through each email and creating a meeting individually, or so. Being in the business world, we have clients who are actually most of their time are full. So going up and down to find the best time to set up a meeting can be a hard task. So we can create an agent that can look at the customer's calendar, see if there is a free slot, and schedule a call with it. So that's the power of an autonomous agent. It works independently, and we can have a human involved in it. So it's basically works dynamically, and it can orchestrate other agents. You remember I told you about orchestrating agents that are agents working as a team. So it can be able to orchestrate these agents and learn from this agent and as well escalate. So heading over to our next slide, Microsoft Copilot Studio. Uh, we've seen how Microsoft Copilot Studio is. It's an end-to-end conversational AI product. So we can use it to build our own AI agent and use it to extend the agentic capabilities beyond the large language models. We can connect it to our data and create a very beautiful RAG solution. So let's dive into the different ways we can build agents for different needs. So the first way we can build agents is using the M365. So that's a totally low-code environment where we can create an agent from natural language, and we that's a low code. So we can be able to create an agent from Copilot Studio, which is a low code environment, and we can create it from a pro code environment. So when we use M365 and Copilot in this case, so we have three ways. We have the M365 of creating agents. We have Copilot Studio as a standalone for building agents, and we have Azure AI Foundry for building agents. So it starts from simple to complex. In M365, we can connect to our data sources that are outside the Copilot trees. Let's say our SharePoint, we can create to data using our graph connectors. Next, we can call the design processes, build processes that can handle the task, and we can configure our Copilot to our needs. That's customization. Next is the Copilot Studio as a standalone. So that's a, a low code. So low natural language and a little bit of code. We will go through that. So we can be able to add rules to it. We can be able to add conversational orchestration. We can be able to include inbuilt LLM language that we have. We can be able to manage our products as a software as a service, no infrastructure, and it respects all the security features that we have in our organization. The next is a fully pro code environment where we can configure. the disadvantage of a low code is we do not have uh, the freedom. So when we want the whole complete freedom, we can use the Azure AI Fund where we are given the full freedom. I can be able to customize my agent how I want it. So I can be able to configure the LLMs. I can be able to configure my whole infrastructure, and I can be able to extend it. So heading over to the next slide. This is now we are focusing on Copilot Studio. So in Copilot Studio, how you can build an agent, how you can publish the agent, how you can analyze it. So the first one is ensuring that we can include the LLM where we can have the chat over our knowledge with Gen AI. So we can be able to include Gen AI in our personal files. We can connect websites or internal SharePoints. So that may include Dataverse, etc. Then the next capability is creating topics. So with topics, it helps us to customize our agents how we want it. So how we want it to perform, that's how we want it to flow. So that's creating an agent with a topic. So it supplements the generative responses, and our curative topics helps us to be in control of our agent. We can be able to build them easily and with powerful graphical studio. That is the all UI for AI. Next is building and plugins. So this is extending our agentic capabilities. With Copilot Studio, we have look this, we have 1,000+ connectors. We can be able to connect up to okay, that's amazing even for me. Imagine we can be able to connect up to 1,000+ connectors and Power Automate, which can be able to pull our backends and API to our agent, which makes our agents powerful. Then we can be able to integrate with other services such as Azure AI Studio. We can connect it to both frameworks and Microsoft conversational services. Then the most important tool is how we can be able to monitor how our agent is being used. So we can see how the users are using it, if our agent is failing, what are the kind of data sources that our agents can, our users queries our agent. So it gives us the full control, like having control of your agent. You can know, like, well, this is how my agent is being used, and this is how effective my agent is. Then lastly is how we can be able to publish in different channels. We have a lot of channels which we can publish our agent. So publishing it to our channel is the endpoint. Where are our users going to interact with it? We don't want our customers to interact with the agent using the user interface. We want them to use it at their comfort. Maybe I have a phone which I want to query my agent. So that would be a user interface. Maybe I want to use it in Slack. I want to use it in Teams. So we have a lot of channels which we can be able to publish our agent. So next we'll talk about the implementation guide, and I'll provide the whole the whole uh, uh, the whole package where you will be able to access all these learning materials, all the labs from lab 1 to the last lab. So let's get started. Yeah, you can be able to scan this QR code so that you can be able to download the zip file. This will help you to get those resources, and yeah, follow along as I'm presenting. So let me give you a minute as you scan that QR code. So I hope, but in case you have any question, you can, yeah, chat with us you can comment on the YouTube link. So let's go and build our first agent. So that is lab 1. Let me escape from this. and I want to go to this. Now, apart from the lab, I'll provide this link for Microsoft Copilot Applied Skills. So this is the tool that helped me learn, and you can be able to take an assessment after you've gone and completed through the labs. So I'll share that link. And this Microsoft Learn, where you can be able to take the classes. So it's a self-paced. You can be able to learn how to get started with Microsoft Copilot Studio, how you can build an initial agent, how you can create topics, how you can create workflows that connect to different entities, to the 1,000 connectors that I talked about, how you can enhance Copilot Studio, and how you can publish. So after which you can be able to take an assessment, which is very important. And yeah, you'll be given a certification to show that you've actually completed the whole Microsoft Applied Skills. In addition to this, we also have the, what is it called? The Copilot Studio Agent Academy. Yeah, it's the Agent Academy where you can get different badges as you learn on Copilot. So I was going to talk on this. Let me bring this screen here. Yeah, we have 9 labs, yeah. So we have 9 labs where you can be able to go through it. It will teach you how it's self-paced. You can, because we have provided the whole environment throughout the hackathon, so you can go with it. So for day one, you can start with lab one as you go. So it continues for lab one, it continues to lab two up to the end where you'll be able to learn everything that you need to know. So today we'll only go through lab one, and at the same time, so allow me to switch in between because the labs are really technical. So me switching between the Microsoft Learn and the lab will help you to basically uh, get basically know about everything that we'll be teaching about. So we'll go and get started. Yeah, so that's the first, and I'll have, well, before we get started with this, let me go through the 3 ways you can create an agent. Uh, First way you can create an agent is a totally no-code environment, and with this, that's M365. So you can be able to create an agent from that interface and in natural language. Just go ahead, type whatever agent that you want. You can type it in natural language, configure it, and you can be able to use it. That's a total low-code environment. You don't need any coding experience to be able to access that, or any coding experience, so that you can create your first agent. The second way you can create an agent is using Copilot Studio. So using Copilot Studio, it's a low-code environment where you will use your natural language and a little bit of programming is required. And it's not hard because I learned it, which means you can learn it. Yeah, so that's what we'll be focusing on. We'll be focusing on Copilot Studio and how you can be able to create this agent using Copilot Studio. And the last one, which is a total pro-code environment, that is the Azure AI Foundry. And using the Azure AI Foundry, you can be able to access the playground which you can create your agents. You can be able to you can start with templates, you can be able to connect with LLMs, and that's a very interesting topic that I don't talk about. We have Malvin who will talk about that in week 3. So that will take me back to Copilot Studio. Yes. Now, that's our session for lab 1. So the labs are hands-on. and please you can follow along with me. I hope that all of you have already claimed the 50 accounts that we provided. I saw like there were about 10 that were remaining. Please let's make sure that we filled, and in case we need addition, yeah, so those accounts will help you throughout the whole hackathon. That will uh, include the access of Copilot Studio. That will also include the access for Fabric, which will be next week, and the third week, which will be Azure AI. So lab one. And lab one, we are going to go through how we can create the first agent in Microsoft Copilot Studio. So it's a hands-on lab, and yeah, it's a step-by-step where we have that table of contents, and the first exercise is signing and creating, which we did in our last session. A quick tour, which we also did in our last session, how we can test the Copilot, creating our first topic and publishing it to a demo website for testing. So the goals of the lab actually is at the end of the lab, we need to ensure that first you can create a custom agent using the authoring canvas. That was the local environment where you just go and give instruction of how you want your agent to be. And the next goal is to make sure that you create your first topic and add content to the topic, that including rich text, responses, and more. Then third goal is being able to use Copilot features that's in Copilot Studio to create a topic with AI. The fourth one is to learn how to test your bot in Microsoft Copilot Studio. And finally, the most important is to publish your agent on a demo website. So prerequisites, I'm sure you all have a computer net with internet. We've provided an access to the environment and generative AI, which will be needed in the settings. So I'll skip this part because I'm sure all of us have signed in and ready to create that agent. So yeah, we'll start from here. So how to create an agent from a description. So the first, okay, uh, I need to use the two screens. Let me bring this lab here because I want to go step by step so that you can be able to see how we are progressing. So yeah, let me use that here. So I have two screens. You'll be able to, this the one I'm sharing. So there are many ways you can get started with an agent. So let's go to create. So you can start creating an agent from a pre-built agent. So we have these pre-built agents from a document processor agent to a finance agent. So these are pre-built agents where let's say I want to create a website of Q&A, I'll just come here and you see, we have everything already pre-configured from the agent's name to the agent's icon. You see, they have already provided the description, we can see the instruction and the knowledge. So this is the simplest way to start off creating an agent. And after you are certain with everything, maybe I don't want website.ai, maybe I want, let me use our Mailer AI. So I want a Mailer QA agent. So I'll go ahead and create, and in a few minutes, my agent will be already created. You see, that was simple. Like it was as simple as that. And I can already begin testing the agent from this environment. You saw, I love it. I love it how you can be able to create this agent. So as simple as that, I can create, like it's a startup point because I can come here, create an agent, and customize it whenever I want it and however much I want it. So that's the easiest way and the quickest way we can create an agent. And the next way we can create an agent is creating an agent from scratch using the design pane. So going over the lab, uh, I'll copy that instruction. I don't know. I wish there's a way I could show the two screens because they are all relevant. So the first way is I want to start, like in natural language, I want to start to build an agent that will be used in customer support. So just so you know, we are following along the lab. So you can follow with it step by step. It contains all the instructions, all the procedures that you're supposed to take from the start to the end. So you cannot be lost in this. Yeah, so I'll guide you through this because for some reasons I can't share the two screens. So yeah, I want to start to build a customer helping agent. So that will be the first instruction that I'll give. And as you're waiting it to create, so in natural language, there we have the agent. We want to build a customer support agent that is an assistant to control customers. So we want to help it to answer common questions. So the next thing is how do we, they've asked for the name and I want to provide a name. So can I call it Contoso? Let me see the name that they have provided. Let me just call it Contoso Agent. So, Contoso support, that's the name of our agent. And as we are using that, you can be able to see it's creating the agent. So the next thing is I want to describe how the tone and the voice of my agent. So I want it to be playful. I want it to be playful, joyful, and customer focused, but professional. That's one of the instructions that I want to give. So as you're waiting it to configure that, so yeah, control support will now be playful. Now that's called grounding because I'm able to tell my agent what I want it to do. And next, I want it to get information. So let me copy that instruction, paste it there. So I want my agent to copy instructions and all in the information I want it to come from that website. So it's the Microsoft Plan website. And that's me configuring the knowledge. So it will go ahead and use that knowledge. And lastly, we'll go ahead and create. So those are the knowledge and yeah, let's go ahead and create that agent. Now, uh, we are talking about orchestration. So the most important function of our Copilot agent. So you can see we started with low language, then my natural language, and it has been able to provide the full instruction without me giving any instruction. And that for the knowledge sources that it configured. I really love how this is coming along. So next, go to a quick overview, which we already did. Let me come back and share this. So we've already created the agent with the advanced settings, a quick tour, which we did in our previous class, where we can be able to see what's available in the homepage, how you can be able to create your agent, how you can be able to orchestrate the agents with other agents, how you can be able to add libraries, how you can be able to advance the knowledge sections, how you can be able to do the action. So I'll skip that and testing your Copilot. That's the small interface where you can be able to test that Copilot. So why are we doing this? Let me get back to this link and not that now doing it. Yeah, that is it. So an introduction. So we have already gone through the introduction of what's our Copilot Studio, how we can get started with the Copilot Studio, how we can create agents. The next thing, we won't touch on topics in this session because I see our time is almost. So I want us to go to the second session, which is building an initial agent with Microsoft Copilot Studio. So let's start with that. And yeah, we have a lot of use cases. So uh, we will use the Eco-Companion agent as our use case for this scenario. And yeah, the first thing is responsible AI and in Microsoft Copilot Studio. So let's go to agent creation. Yeah, we did that in the last one, creating an agent. The whole overview that's from knowledge, topics, activities, the analytics. We've already talked about all of that. Creating an agent now. That's what we've done. So we have created an agent using our natural language. Then the generative AI features. So what are generative AI features? So these are what our Copilot uses to enrich our data source. So when I upload data in my agent, we can use the generative AI features to make it rich, to make it more intelligent, because we want our agent to be our assistant, you know. So the generative AI, it uses LLM. So currently, the Copilot, they have introduced the GPT 5.0. That should be the latest model. I'm not sure which this one is using the 4.0, but you can always switch the agent to go to another model. So here's where you can choose a model which you want your Copilot Studio to use. So the 4.0 is the default LLM, where it can be able to do a lot of tasks. It can be able to actually do a lot of generation. So the next one, the GPT-5, which is for experimental and mostly great with tasks, and the GPT-5 for deep reasoning. So in my last model, I used GPT-5, and well, I really loved it because yeah, the way it was thinking and the way it was providing the responses. Oh, that was the best project I ever did with Copilot Studio. So coming back, yeah, we need the orchestration enabled so that we can enrich uh, our agent. So where was I? That so creating an agent is instantly useful. So it's with no human interaction and with no human uh, authoring, we can be able to create an agent that can be able to generate answers. So first of all, it harnesses the AI general knowledge, which is also embedded, and we can also be able to create topics in natural languages. So that is through our topic creation here. There are two ways we can be able to create a topic. So we can be able to design a topic from blank, and we can be able to design a topic using a description, and that will go ahead and create the whole topic. So next, we have already done that. Generative answers. We can start from generative answers. How can we be able to uh, add generative answers to our agent? So In generative answers, Microsoft Copilot Studio has a feature which you can use an agent to retrieve and present information from different types of sources. That can be internal sources, that's one. You can be able to use it from external sources. You remember I told you that we have 1,000+ connectors. This is very useful in grounding our agent because we can be able to customize this agent to perform what exactly we need. And that is very important because these answers can serve as a primary source of information because we want our agent to be accurate. And if it cannot get that information, they can act as a fallback. So when agents does not find a relevant information, we do not want it to uh, this what I'm looking for, to not really exaggerating, to hallucinate. We do not want our agent to hallucinate. So I don't know if you've have all felt this. Like sometimes when you go to Copilot or ChatGPT and ask a question, it's their work to respond, but not all the time the response is accurate because I can ask a question and voila, ChatGPT just gives me all random text and it's not correct information. So that's known as hallucination. So we do not want our agent to hallucinate. So whenever you ask a question that is not available in the data source, it will go to a fallback. And the fallback message is a message that will customize. So that's what we are talking about fallback, when we can pre-configure the fallback message. And yeah, that's allowed the quick creation of the agent. The next thing is adding knowledge to the agent. We can be able to add knowledge that is grounding so that the agent can be able to understand. So there are two ways we can add a knowledge. So there's a specific knowledge and their general knowledge. So the general knowledge is our agent using the LLM. So uh, there are two ways. So we want to create an agent that does not go to the LLM. So maybe you have a company that you don't want information that is hallucinated. I want my knowledge to be really grounded with what I have. So with that kind of a scenario, we'll have to switch off the LLM part so that it only retrieve accurate information uh, that I have trained it with, not information that has been trained generally. So those are the two types of information, the specific knowledge and the general knowledge. So when we enable the general knowledge, the agent will attempt to answer these questions with the large language model. So in most cases scenario, we don't want that. We want my agent to provide responses from what I want. So the next exercise will be creating a public knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So let's go to that, create a knowledge. So this is where you can add knowledge. You can be able to add knowledge from uh, one from a public website. You can see Microsoft Learn is a public website. So I'll come here, copy that link because we want it to get information from this public website. So when I want my agent to get information in public website, here's where I can add that information. So whenever I ask a question that is in relation or is available in that website, it will go to that website and pick that information. And that's how we can be able to add that knowledge. And the best way, when you're adding knowledge, make sure you include the description. So when we add the description, we are telling the agent to know what this knowledge is about. Yeah, so it's always best practice to give a description, and that's the simplest way which we can adding knowledge. The next way which we can add a knowledge is through an upload. We can be able to browse my computer. Let me select from no, I don't want you to see my personal files. Okay. From my downloads, I want these workshops as my knowledge. So I've included this workshop and I'll be able to add them as a knowledge source. So whenever I'm testing that agent, you can be able to see it referring back to my knowledge. So let's give it a few minutes as that does what it does. Yeah, so and in minutes you've seen that's how we can be able to add in knowledge. Next, I want to go directly and quickly how you can create a topic. So we have topics. Topics are way which we can control how our agent flows, how our agent responds, and how our users interact to the agent. So one thing I want to customize in is the conversation boosting agent. So in conversation boosting, this is where we can be able to add an we can be able to add the LLM to our data source. So using that, I can be able to edit my data source and tell my agent whenever a user, I want you to note this, whenever a user asks a question that is not in or a question that is not in our topics, it will trigger the conversational boosting. So I want it to only focus on the uh, links and documents that we provided. So I want it to focus on that and web searching. So this is a way which we can be able to enable our agent to go outside to the web and search for information and bring back the result. So when we enable web searching, when you ask a question that is not available in our data source, and most of our LLMs are actually grounded back. So for recent responses, it will go to the websites and get relevant information and bring it back to our agent. Then we want the LLM to use its own the generative knowledge. Yeah. And when it comes to advanced, I want my response to be complete, which is recommended. So that's how I am grounding that. So next step, whenever I ask a question, let me ask a test question. Uh, so what question should I ask? Huh. What is the Now, this information is not available in my language, so I want to see how my agent will go out and reason over it. So I'll pose that question and we'll see the whole guide. How you see, first thing, it will go through my data source first. So the always first thing is it will go to the data source, try to see if we have any information in the data source. And if there's no information, it will go to either an LLM that we've enabled or outside to the web. So for this information, it went to the web, which was it took from South Africa. Oh, that's fun. So you can see the rationale. My query was Youthman 2025. So that it was able to go through the response and bring it back. And the most important part is the reference. So we can be able to see where that information has been retrieved from. And that is what amazes me about Copilot Studio. And because of time, let me go ahead and show you how you can create a topic. So Let me do a topic by description, but in our next lesson, we will create a topic from blank. And one thing I love about Copilot Studio, you remember I told you it's a low code, no code environment where, let's say I want to edit a particular topic, let's say like conversation boosting. So I can be able to do it in natural language. I can be able to add a topic using this interface. You see, I can be able to add more messages to it. I can be able to advance the flow, or I can be able to do it using code. Uh, I love code, and for me, this has been the simplest way of creating an agent. So let's say, for example, I have a particular code. uh, I had this topic over here. So wait for me as I pull it back. So I have this. It should be that. Nah, why did I set that code? Ah, finally. Here is it. So I have this code, and oh, my time. So I want to create a topic. So there are two ways you can create a topic. You can either create a topic using a description, or you can create a topic from blank. So because of time, I see my time is almost up. I want to create an app that can order pizza. So that's the description of the topic. So I can be as descriptive as I want because I want to customize this agent so that it can be able to suit my needs. And for the topic name, let me call it pizza. So I'll go ahead and hit create, and this is the work of the LLM running behind it. It will go blah, blah, blah. You see, it's creating the whole flow. And wow, voila, in a matter, well, it knows I love food because, yeah. So in a matter of time, you see that has been already created, and we can save it and we can test it. So let's test that topic. So it's a pizza tool, and I'll start I want pizza. This is a way of how uh, I can control my agent to do. So you see, it's asking me to choose what kind of pizza I want that was available in the flow. So I want pepperoni. I love pepperoni. I want a pepperoni pizza. How much pizza I want? Oh, it's a Friday, so two will do. So I'll go for two. And you ordered, thank you for the order. So let's confirm if that was the flow. I'll go back to the topic. Topic. There you are. It was the pizza topic. And let me show you how it works. So what triggers the agent was I want pizza because we gave it a description. This tool can handle queries like I want to order a pizza. I want this kind of pizza. So whenever a user mentions the word pizza, it will trigger that topic. And the next part will be what kind of pizza do you want? I want a pepperoni pizza. So it will be able to give that uh, option. So we have that option. So the number of pizzas and the final message. So you see, that was the simplest way of creating a topic. And because of time, the next way you can be able to create a topic is from blank. And uh, part of this lab was to show you how you can create a topic step by step. But because of time, please, and I'm sorry about this. Allow me to copy a code. So I'll open the code editor, Control A, Control V, and you see, so That's the simplest way. So you see, I'll name this pizza 2 and save it. So that was the code part. And I want to show you how that works. You see, that is what it created. So I see my time is spent, and we will continue with this because yeah, we'll continue with this to the next session. Now, the first thing we've gone through lab one was seeing how you can test the Copilot. Next, how to create a topic, how you can be able to create a topic. There are two ways you can create a topic. You can create a topic from blank. You can create a topic from description. We went through the whole user interface. How you can be able, because of time we couldn't go through this, you can be able to go step by step on how you can be able to add content to your topic. Then in adding on the variables. So these are the variables that we're talking about. Yeah, so these are the variables. We will go through that in our next session, and adding the question and testing the agents. So yeah, that was a complete overview, and that was lab one. I'm sorry it feels rushed, but we will have multiple sessions, and I'll provide the whole documentation from lab one to lab nine so that you can go through it at your own pace. So thank you, everyone. This has been a very fun session, engaging, and you know what? If you leave me to talk about Copilot, I'll talk about it the whole day. So, because my time does not allow, I'll have to go stop at that. And in case of any question, please feel free to reach out. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because, yeah, we are here for you and we really want to see what you're building. So, have a good Friday. Bye.